So, that fan does not need to be that fucking crazy. Anyway, so I just got home from seeing Skyscraper. I was gonna see it slightly earlier in the week, but the theater that like I go in my town that's not in the city, it's not that many theaters. It's not that whatchamacallit. It's not that big of a theater. Not that many. Not that big. Yada yada. Most theaters are still playing, you know, Ant-Man and the Wasp, and I think Hotel Transylvania 3. It caters more towards, you know, families and stuff, since obviously this is like a house. Which is funny because when I was consider going to see it on Sunday, because it came out during the weekend, it was like, featured movie, Skyscraper. Anyway, there's only 3 showings of it for the day. Well, 5 if you count like the 2 3D ones, but like, why would you see this in 3D? Seriously. But anyway, yeah, so it was either like, I woke up at, I think, on Sunday, like, I think I woke up at like 11, and the movie started at 11, and I was like, oh, okay, I'm like, what's the next showing? I was like, 4! Nah, because I'm that kind of person that, like, if I leave my house, like, if I'm doing something for the day, like, I leave before noon, you know? If it's something after, I'm like, no, I'm not doing it. So anyway, so today I got the 11 o'clock screening of it, and it's a fucking action film with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, so it's like, you know, you're watching it, you're not, like, there were a couple moments where I was like, that doesn't make any goddamn sense, but you're like, whatever, fucking whatever, because it's The Rock, and he's awesome, and, you know, you're like, yeah, I'm all for this movie, and this insane concept, you know, because I know there's a lot of cynical people. Ooh, God, got my soda. Yeah. And that asshole refills and then leaves. Whatchamacallit? What was I saying? Oh yeah, that, now I remember. Wow. I love how, like, I forgot. Now I remember. Yeah, so I know a lot of, like, cynical people, when, like, the trailer and all that stuff came out, and they were just like, oh, this is like, you're trying to do Die Hard, like, and it's like, so? Let The Rock have his Die Hard. It's fucking Die Hard, for God's sakes. It hasn't been good since the one with Sam Jackson in it, alright? Let the fucking man have his Die Hard. And then The Rock came out, he was like, yeah, we drew a lot of influences from Die Hard. And then someone made, I don't know if it was in the marketing campaign or just like a fan thing, where someone like mimicked like Skyscraper and made it look like the old Die Hard, you know, poster for back in the day. And then The Rock was like, yeah, that's fucking awesome. It's like, that shut up. You know? Not every movie is fucking, you know, Blade Runner 2049, for God's sakes, okay? Not every movie you're like, this changed my life, or like, look at that cinematography, you know? Like, some movies you go, holy shit, The Rock is just gonna, like, scale up a fucking crane, run across it, leap, and go into a window while a crowd cheers him on. Like, some movies you go, yeah, you know? I had my fucking soda, I got an ice cream, and I was like, yeah, I'm here for this movie. That's how you enjoy these movies. You just snack, you watch The Rock, and then you enjoy everything, you know? It's one of those movies that it doesn't really matter if you go into spoilers or not, because, like, you know, I'm already saying it's like Die Hard, so it's like, you know, like, things are gonna go well in the end, so it's like, I guess, spoiler alert or something, but anywho, so, the movie starts off, you see that it was like, blah, 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 10 years ago, you see, it was like some domestic, Jesus, I went to art school, and not an English major. Okay, so it was a domestic dispute. And so, you know, like a SWAT team, all that kind of shit, you know, there's like a hostage situation, and The Rock was part of the team to kind of like evacuate, like, it wasn't like fully SWAT, but like that kind of shit, where like, you're the people with the big guns, you come in, and, you know, assess the situation when cops can't, kind of stuff. So anyway, he goes in, Pablo Schreiber's with him, and whatchamacallit, you know, they do that thing where they put the thing on the outside wall, hit a button, bam, hole in the wall, moo, 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 go, 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 moo, 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 you know. They, like, clear out the woman and the kid, and the guy has, like, his, you know, his back, oh god, I'm gonna spill things, like, his back to them, they're in the kitchen, and The Rock is like, hey, you know, turn around, zippity bop. That'd be great if he, like, scat it too, and he's like, turn around, zip beep boop ba da 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 ba ba. Can we get that? Can we get, like, the next movie The Rock is in to do that? So, the guy turns around, he's holding the kid, and they're like, oh, fuck, you know. Pablo Schreiber's like, I got a clear shot. He's like, no, don't do it. He's not armed. Like, put the kid down. Because the kid's like, you know, probably like, what, 6, 7 years old, kind of pretty big kid. Or, for me, like 2, just this huge elephant child. Anyway, the guy puts the kid down. You see he's strapped with a fucking, you know, like, bomb vest. And they're like, no. And he's like, I'm sorry. All dramatic, of course. Boom! And The Rock is like, no! You know, throw him back. You see that's how he meets his wife, Neve Campbell. You know, he's all jacked up looking. Flash forward, present day, they're in Hong Kong. Which I would love to take a trip there. Because then I can speak both languages. And I'll still be discriminated against. Yeah. Oh, that's sad because it's true. Anyway, so they're in Hong Kong. You know, you see him getting ready for the day. You kind of see it in the trailer where it's like, obviously he's an amputee now, but you kind of see, like, you know, like a lingering shot. So you see how, like, burnt up his, like, other leg is, his okay leg. Obviously where his, I guess his nub, to be frank about it, it's still very burnt off. He's putting the leg on, da-da-da, his wife Neve Campbell, which, mind you, it's good to see Neve Campbell getting work again, because it's like, she's probably been in other, I'm gonna have to go on IMDb, she's probably been in other stuff, since then, but the last thing I remember her in was in Wild Things, and, you know, that's a movie. Skyscraper. Skyscraper, that's how you spell it, Skyscraper. Neve Campbell, what have you been in? I like her, known for Scream, the Scream franchise. Oh, she was in House of Cards. Yeah, I haven't watched that at all, so I don't know. There's a Titanic miniseries? What? Did I miss something? Oh, wait, actually, no, not Wild Things. Her last thing was Scream 4. Yeah, Scream 4. Alright, yeah, so anyway, I really haven't seen her in much, so it's good to see her in, like, other things, especially something big like this. Anyway, so, you know, she's, like, a military nurse, you know, she served, yada yada, you know, he obviously served, but he's just in, like, whatchamacallit, his role, and you see it in the trailer, is that he just knows security stuff really well, obviously being, like, you know, serving in the armed forces all that stuff, you kind of know how to, like, make sure shit is on lock. So he's like, his family's the only family that's living in that skyscraper, the big tower, the Pearl. It's obviously, like, the owner of it, he lives in the penthouse at the very tippy dick tip top. He lives, like, kind of in the middle, and you hear it in the movie where they're like, what's it, like, floor 98. Oh, like, they say it in Chinese, and then they say it in English, but it's like, you know, they're like, floor 98. And it's like, they're the only residents there, because obviously the guy wants him to, like, live there, and, like, kind of figure out, like, you know, security things, and once, you know, everything's fully assessed, then yes, we'll open up for other people to live in there. Obviously, you gotta have to have fucking money, you know, and then below that, it's open, and it's like a shopping mall, like a multi-tier, multi-floor shopping mall, all that stuff. So, that's pretty much it. Pretty much, like, the movie gets to the point, gets to the shit really quick. It, like, you know, the movie, it's only, like, what, it's like an hour and 50 or something? Like, Jesus fucking thing. Yeah, an hour and 45, not even. So, you know, it gets to it. It literally is just like, bam, this is my backstory. Bam, this is where we are now. Bam, this is where we're going. Okay, our kids, you know, wife came home too early, you know, like, things didn't go exactly to plan, kind of shit. Oh, The Rock got mugged for his bag. He's like, damn, my bag. And then it's like, well, good thing this tablet was in my pocket. And then, his buddy Pablo Schreiber, who you see him with like the burn scars like on his neck here. And he was just like, damn it. He was just like, why did you have to be so smart? And like put the little tablet, probably not that little, but it looks little because it's The Rock. Like him holding a tablet looks like the size of my phone, and he's like, why? Why were you smart to put it in your pocket? Now they're gonna come for you to kill you, for the tablet. And he's like, bitch, what? Like, I thought we were friends. He was like, he was like, I'm just a nobody now, and you went on to greater things, even though you don't have a leg, and you're like, okay. Oh my god, the tagline for this, oh wait, no, that's not the tagline, sorry. So the IMDb, like, synopsis, I didn't mean tagline. A father goes to great lengths to save his family from a burning skyscraper. And you're like, oh my god. Ooh. What is up with my voice lately? Jesus. But yeah, you meet, like, obviously the owner guy of the skyscraper, and it's the bad Asian guy from Dark Knight. Which I'm like, you always play that asshole, because he has that smug look on his face, where he's like, I have money, and you're like, fuck off. And it's funny because when The Rock is meeting with them, he then goes like, the Asian guy's like, let me introduce you to my 2 assistants, and it's like, I got like freaking black turtleneck black guy, with, like African accent, and then I got the guy who played Hitler on Preacher, and it has to be him, because like no one else has that look to him, like he's played, oh my god, where is it? Yeah, Preacher, Hitler. I just love that. It's like, Preacher, Adolf Hitler. Okay, first of all, the moment you see the guy, you're like, okay, it's that freaking, British dude. It's that guy. Because he's got that squirmy look on his face that you can't trust. Plus, the motherfucker played Hitler, so, done, And, like, God, I was by myself in the theater, and it wasn't that many people in the theater, and when he showed up, I wanted to be like, ah, damn it, Hitler's gonna, like, I was about to scream out, Hitler's gonna betray you. So, to no surprise, fucking, his character is what? Mr. Pierce, let's call him Hitler. He fucking betrays the Asian dude, which is like, I'm not surprised, that kind of shit. Yeah, because, like, the whole point of, like, and you see, like, all the fire and shit happening, because it's, like, first of all, the early trailers, I had to backtrack a little, early trailers for this, I thought it was, like, they were trying to do more of, like, a heist, because it's, like, it's a rich guy's, well, technically, technically it is a heist, never mind. But I guess more, like, for money, like, they think, like, the rich guy's got, like, gold bars in there. It is a heist, it's for external hard drive, we're at that age now, and it's funny because it's like, in this age, obviously, he's got the tablet, it's an external drive, all that stuff, and I feel like if this was, obviously, like, in the, 80s and 90s, it would be like, the briefcase, it's like, you gotta make sure you got the briefcase, or like, those papers, the folder, the manila envelope, that kind of stuff, and then it would be, like, something like gold bars, or, again, other files, it'd be, like, physical stuff, but now we're like, here's a tablet, anyway, so, it's technically a heist movie, but yeah, so, it's pretty much the bad guys want to steal this external drive, and The Rock just happens to kind of, like, be in their way, or, like, wrong place, wrong time, but him being The Rock, is fucking amazing. There are a couple parts in the movie where, and it's known that his character does talk to himself a bit, but he's talking to the audience. And you kind of see it in the trailer, where he's, like, duct taping some shit, and he's like, if duct tape if duct tape can't solve it, then you're not using enough duct tape, because then he, like, puts duct tape on, so then you can, like, I thought, again, in the trailer, I thought with the duct tape on his hands that he was gonna climb up the glass and pull a fucking Tom Cruise, but instead he was just shimmying, just to do a little shimmy, a little shim-sham. Oh hold on. Is that the guy from 50 Shades? Or... Oh, he was in Breaking Bad. Okay. I fucking knew... Okay. Fucking knew that guy looked familiar. There was like some guy who was like... Wait, is that the same... I'm like, is that the same guy? Now I don't know. Oh, wait, no. There you go. Skinny Hacker. He is... No. No idea. One of his IMDb things is transsexual prostitute. Okay. He was in Live Free and Die Hard. Ugh. Anyway, so like this guy who's supposed to be like, I'm a German hacker. Like that was his like German accent. It was just so bad. It's like, I'm German. That was seriously him. He's like, I'm a German hacker. I will help you, Asian Ruby Rose. Oh man, it was a really like, it was a stereotypical German accent where you're like, it's like the fucking Jägermeister commercial. She was like, of course it's code. It's German. It's like that. It's like, I met a lot of people from Germany, and like, some of them kind of have the accent, but it ain't be like that, son. But anyway, so of course, the whole movie, you're just watching him like, go and like get his family, like, where is my son? You know, that kind of stuff. And it's kind of funny because, like, you're in Hong Kong, and, like, The Rock is a big man. He's a big man for Americans, and Americans, we are quite large. And for Hong Kong, he would be huge. I'm considered huge, and even as an American, So, like, at one point where he sees that he is, like, a wanted man on the news, and it's like, well, it's not hard to find him. Like... Oh my god, I can't wait till, like, when I do, like, a trip to Hong Kong, and it's, like, Paul and I'd be like, hey, dude, he's down the block, there's Paul. That's how it is in Chinatown. I was like, Mom, how'd you find me? And she's like, really? Oh, it's awful. It's awful. Oh god, my camera's about to overheat at any moment. So, anywho, The Rock does some shit. You know, there's a part towards the end where it kind of mimics what happened in the beginning with the guy with the domestic dispute and holding the kid and turning around. And I'm glad that there was a callback. Because, you know, there's reasons to this. 2, I'm glad they didn't do a flashback to the callback. I hate when movies do that, where it's like this obvious plot point in the beginning of a movie, and then you flash back to it at the end when they're calling back to it. It's like, okay, yeah, I didn't forget what happened. This isn't a 4-hour movie, man, you know? I'm glad that. They also brought back, like, this thing where Neve Campbell had issues with her phone, because it's an iPhone, and, you know, The Rock is like, yeah, easiest thing to do with anything electronic is to turn it off and on again. Have you tried turning off and on again? A fire at sea parks? You know, that kind of shit. And of course, in the end, she, like, reboots the tower, because, you know, she got her hands on the thing. And it was like, and he was like, the cop is like, how'd you do it? She's like, I turned it off and on again. You know? Anyway, there was one part where I was like, and again, it's one of those movies where you shouldn't be nitpicking, and you should just suspend all your disbelief. But my only issue was the part where they kind of like semi-knockout, like they hit The Rock, they put the tablet in front of his face, you know, to do the facial recognition thing, so it unlocks it, and then they're like, bye, we don't need you anymore, and then the girl goes and like puts in her bag or something, goes to the off-site place, talks to fake German accent guy, she hands him a tablet, and it's still unlocked. I'm like, wait, no, it would be locked again. It wouldn't be unlocked for like 12 hours or an hour and a half or some shit like that, bitch. It would have been locked again probably the moment you closed it back up and put it in your bag, because then, like, the technology nowadays knows when something's not being used. I'm just saying, you know, like, I'm just saying. That's like my only nitpick where I was like, huh? Because then, like, the German guy is on the computer, because that was his accent, where he was like, look, he's like, oh, what did he say? Something like, I disengaged the facial recognition so you can use that tablet at any time. I swear to God, his accent was really bad. It's like, but he was like, yeah, he disengaged the thing, which I'm like, that's great. Maybe, like, I don't know. I don't know. I'm just saying, like, if it would have been, like, cool, here are the rocks, scan your face, then we're on, like, in, like, the SUV when you're getting away, and the dude, like, you know, it's still, you know, unlocked, and he's, like, on a laptop or something, trying to do that. And I'm like, okay, I'll probably believe that, but, like, real time 20 minutes or something went by before you guys kind of... Alright, I'm just being... That's me nitpicking. I was just me nitpicking. I'm sorry. Other than that, it's one of those fun movies where you put it on, you watch it. I kind of wish I was able to go see it with Paul, but as always, scheduling and stuff. You probably would have been screaming the whole time. Fucking Nev Campbell kicks a bitch in the face. She kicks that Ruby Rose, like, chick in the face. And I was like, oh my God. I'm only calling her Asian Ruby Rose because, you know, Ruby Rose at one point had that haircut where it's like, it's technically the Asian Bob, but then, like, people know her more. Anyway, as my hair's in my face. Anyway, trailers before my camera overheats. First thing is Creed 2. I need to rewatch the first one. So this one, I like that they didn't say it, they showed you. So, you know, Michael B. Jordan, Michael Basketball Jordan, god damn it, Chris D'Elia, is like, oh, like talking to Rocky, like, oh, like what, you don't want me to, whatchamacallit, like, fight him? You don't think I'll win? Da-da-da. And then, like, later in the trailer, you realize that he's gonna fight Ivan Drago's fucking kid. And you're like, well, yeah, that's how your dad died! You know? Which, funny enough, person in front of me had explained to their dad or something about... Because I guess when the name Drago showed up, I went, oh, like that. And so the dad, like, the kid was explaining, and they're grown adults. It wasn't a kid. He's like 45. He was just like, yeah, he's like, in Rocky, and he had a fight. That's how the dad died. And I'm like, bro, can you not whisper that loud? Also, at one point, before the movie started, someone, like, turned on, either they turn on the flashlight thing on their phone, or they just are those old people that have the bright-ass, like, phones like my mom does. I was like, could you just shit. His opening scene is kind of dark. Anyway, next is BlacKkKlansman. I can't wait to go see that. Spike Lee. I haven't seen a Spike Lee movie in forever, but yeah, it's... Fuck it. Mission Impossible 6 trailer. It's coming out soon, so I don't have to see this goddamn trailer anymore. Nutcracker, I already spoke about that last time. It's visually pretty, and I wish I was involved in it. Equalizer 2, yes. This one, I'm going to try to make sure to go see that with Paul, because he's going to lose his shit the whole time he's watching the movie. After that, based on the book, The Hate You Give, whatchamacallit, I think it starts... I think that's Mandela. Oh God, I'm really bad with names. Yeah, it's a Mandela person. Yeah, so it's based off the book, and you know it's very relevant now. You know, like black kid gets stopped by a white cop, black kid gets shot, community uproar, all that stuff. So it's one of those things. So, it's one of those movies. It's one of those movies. So, it's one of those I'm definitely gonna, like, kind of have to wait until it comes on video, because I don't want to be in the theater, like, watching that and being like, like, angry and cry. Like, no. It's like, years ago when, what's that, Fruitvale Station? I remember I was like, I really want to see this, but I cannot see this in theaters, and I waited. After that, like, it was dramatic as shit. After that was the trailer for The Meg, which, you know, after that was a movie called First Man, which, okay, it's about Neil Armstrong and, you know, landing on the moon and all that stuff, but I love how it's directed by the guy who did La La Land, so he's got Ryan Gosling in it, and it's like, oh, are you trying for another Oscar because you lost to Moonlight? And since you lost to Moonlight, your next movie you're going to try to go to the moon? Yeah, I made that joke in my head in the theater, and I kind of was a little upset at myself for making that. But anyway, you lost it. You lost it. Freaking La La Land. And then the last one is a more like I guess in depth or more expanded, more like an actual trailer rather than a teaser to Mortal Engines. So Hugo Weaving's in it, and you're like, okay, cool. And then I don't know, it's just like the main girl, the whole teaser trailer you saw with like the red thing across her face, and she was like, tell him why he killed my mother or something. I don't know, it looks interesting. It looks like there's a main character who's Asian, which I'm like, yeah, come on my people, like, let's get it. Oh god, and the thing died. Anyway, bye.